Hey guys, it is almost April, which means our favorite magical readathon is near, and I have not made my new Orilium journal yet, which makes me go into panic mode. I have already spent a lot of time planning and thinking about how to approach this mammoth task, what to include and what not to, and suddenly half of March is gone and I have not made any progress yet. So let's make it today. I am using this big red notebook from Archer and Olive. I've got in one of their first subscription boxes years ago. I believe it was March 2021, and I had no idea how to use it since because it is lined and I do not really like lined notebooks, especially not with as big lines as this one. Well, they are not awfully big, but my handwriting is very small, so using this would feel like a waste of pages. Also, it is quite big for me for a day-to-day use. It is 8.5 times 11 inches, so a slightly shorter A4, which drew me crazy while putting my pages in because I really missed those few centimeters of height. But as you will see, I made it work mostly. The cover of this notebook is this gorgeous red fabric, but with me not even using it, it is already somehow dirty around the edges. And it also has this golden compass on the front, which I really like, and I think it kind of matches with the magical readathon theme. My first magical readathon journal was an A5 size, and I quickly realized it was too small. So I reached for this journal and I am so happy I have a use for one more of my blank journals that just sit on the shelf and gather dust. Also, I am really sorry guys, but I was not really able to fit this whole notebook into the screen. It's just so big. But I managed to put my camera a bit higher later in the video. Okay guys, so here you can see why I do not like this size of notebook. The original graphics G, the mastermind behind this readathon, and Logan, who makes I think most of the designs, they gifted us with all these beautiful pages with even more beautiful frames, and I am not able to fit the whole page here. The bottom part of the frame always sticks out, so I am cutting it off and gluing it slightly higher. If I can. With some pages it is not possible. And thankfully it looks seamless most of the time, but it takes more time to finish each page. This page is the Scholar's Key, where you put all the information about your character, and it also has a small section in the top right corner for the picture of your character. And to be honest guys, I kept putting off figuring out how Elodriel, my character, looks, because I have been not in a mood for drawing for a long time now, and also I am scared of drawing characters. And I am of course not using AI to make it for me. So I looked through my art and I picked these 3 girls I showed you before. I decided to go with this orangey blue girl doing magic with spheres or whatever. There were some creative choices, guys, okay? Is this how I imagined my character to look? Not really, but at least I have some vision now. On the following pages, I am putting parts of the lore that are connected with my character. So the race she belongs to, continent, her guild, and also the calling. And in the beginning, I put the brief history of Aeldia and also the gorgeous art by Liz Art. If you are not familiar with this readathon, it probably did not tell you anything, so I will put the introductory video to this whole readathon in the description below. There is a lot to go through, and I decided to put only those few pages into this new magical readathon journal because last year I made, as I mentioned already, my first Orilium or magical readathon journal, and it had it all. all the history, all guilds, maps, callings, everything. It has these cute little pulleys and accordion pages, and it is very interactive. I love how it looks, and I used it during last year, but I have realized it was too small for everything. The full setup video is still on my channel if you'd like to check it out. So that's why in this journal I have only bare minimum of the introductory pages to kind of ease into the world, and the rest will be used for the monthly challenges. And maybe I will do some of the previous side quests I was not able to fit into my schedule yet. Honestly, I don't know how this journal will look because G just keeps outdoing herself every single time. As you might have noticed, I am using sticker paper for most of these, which is a lifesaver. Is this the best sticker paper there is? Not at all. It is actually pretty bad, but I wanted something cheap I could get quickly, and honestly, it could have been much worse. For the big art piece at the beginning of the journal, I used cheap matte photo paper from a local store, and it still looks great, I think. And I print everything on my Epson Eco Tank. I've had it for 3 years, I think, and I am yet to refill the ink tanks. Even the amount of printing I have done for this journal did not make the ink levels go much lower. I love it, and I hope it will serve me for a long time. Okay, so this page looks different. This is a place where I will put the supplementary qualifications and opportunities cards. It is a fun little edition where you complete the prompt, usually to read a book, and then something else like watch a documentary or doodle or something like that. And when you complete that, you then are qualified for the thing. There is a dragon riding license or apothecary keeper, all fun stuff. And while I made some progress on these last year, I think I will start anew because I forgot which prompts I completed. And when I started working on this spread, there were 4 qualifications available, but while I was working on that, G just posted a new video about spring equinox starting April 1st, and she added 2 new qualifications. Yep, I am now glad I went with the pocket idea because I can put multiples in one pocket, which phew, bullet dodged. She also added a few more callings into this already massive world, and I am not sure how or even if I should incorporate those pages into this journal. I will have to think about that. The qualifications are these cards in here that have all the information needed, and I will simply glue the book covers at the back side, and that's it. This is where I decided I want to tear the pages because I was kind of bothered with this white line at the edge and it looked kind of unfinished, so I decided to just rip these off and stain it with some brown ink, and I think it looks so much better. With this done, next we have another fairly recent addition to the world of Aeldia, and that is the Guild Emporium, or basically a shop. Up until the last semester, we could collect points and use these to climb this skill ladder, you can say. You got a certain perk for being in certain category, but since September of last year, we can use all the points for shopping. And all the items are so cute and fun and original. There is an Implink encyclopedia. Implings are small creatures you can summon that are supposed to help you with some tasks. They are more chaos than help, but they are also so cute. There is a shadow puppy. Oh, I think my character should get that. There is a flying broom, a library, so much stuff that you can equip your character with, and also some scrolls to help you finish semesters successfully. There is just so much stuff, and I was not really able to read through it all yet, but I am sure I would want to get lots of stuff. For this whole section, I decided to do a mini booklet. I printed all Guild Emporium pages as an A5 and I am putting one page down, cutting the rest of the journal page off and putting the next page onto the other side. Later, I will also add mini tags on the sides and I am so happy with how this looks. The last page of the mini booklet remained empty, but I am sure there will be more pages to this later, but I also don't know how I will even add more pages here if needed. I am thinking maybe doing the accordion that would start on this last mini page. I don't know, and I probably babble, so I will figure it out when I will need to. On the right page, behind the booklet, is the same design as on the title page, but I used Canva to erase the Guild Emporium from the middle, so I could have matching pages here. That's not everything for this section, guys. I still need a place to record all my points and purchases, so I made yet another mini booklet. For this one, I used some paper textures as backgrounds and put dot grid on top for easy writing. Then I added some clouds here and there and few imp links in the corners, all in Canva again. And I put the Orilium logo on one of the pages to have some kind of cover. It is totally not centered, but I am not redoing this again. I don't mind it that much. My plan was to use the stapler to staple pages together, but all I have is a really small one, so I just put a cute paper clip at the back and it holds the pages together pretty nicely. Done. Now we can go on to the next spread, and guys, this is the one where I spent the most time figuring out how to do this. This will be my Adventures in Aeldia spread. It is a low effort year-long readathon where you need to complete one reading prompt a month to continue along the map, and look how stunning this map is. I printed it on 2 A4 photo papers and I am simply bending the outer edges of the paper and using it to attach the map onto the page to create a flip out. I had to cut top and bottom parts of these illustrations, which I think hurt the most out of all the pages I had to cut. I am doing once again book page background on all 4 pages and I am covering the backside of the maps as well. And guys, this took me 40 or so minutes with inking all the pages and positioning and gluing every piece down. It was past 10 p.m. when I started and I was so done when I finished. I am getting old, so my back hurt a lot too after this, but it was worth it. I was not sure how to do the 12 months part for the longest time, and after starting and abandoning 3 or 4 versions, I decided to make a door for each month with a cute little frame and a first letter of the month in the center. And with this, I also tried to imitate the colors of the continents on the map. I printed this on the sticker paper, and this was the tricky part. To figure out how to actually do what I want. Well, first thing first, I accidentally printed all of these on the wrong side of the paper. Yep, so I had to print them all again, which made it then tricky to fold the paper because I had color on both sides. But I somehow managed with only one messed up. I used the card template on Canva to have this elongated design that would then be folded in half. I also had to be sure to leave a small piece of paper on one side to have a way to attach these to the background. It was a lot of brain work, guys, but once I got to putting them on the page, it was so easy and I am so happy with how these look. There is this white strip on one side and I could have made the design longer so it would not show, but it does not really matter because the white part is inside of the door and the book cover will cover it up. See? Smart, at least once. On the last page, there will be a place for all the prompts. I copied and pasted everything into monthly sections while trying not to read the story because I still want this to be a surprise for me throughout the year. I want to store all the prompts in here with the map because if I had to go and open the document on the PC every single time to check it, I know I would not do this challenge. It is nice to have everything together in one place. I am storing these prompts in an envelope I attached to the page. I do not really like it, but it was what I had on hand, so it got used. And while we are here, let's look at first 3 months of the Year in Aeldia challenge. January prompt was to read a book published in 2024. I finished Wind and Truth, so I put the cover inside, and on the flap I wrote down the prompt. For February, I did not have a choice but to go north with the read the book from the top shelf prompt, and that was a classic called With Fire and Sword. I read it in Slovak, so I am putting a Slovak cover in. Also, I have accidentally already read a March book because the Tainted Cup fulfilled a prompt for a drink on the cover, so I am putting that in. I love when this happens. I am also marking my path on the map and it is so much fun. For April, I have no other option than to go for a prompt word river in the title, and I can't find anything I would be interested in, maybe except Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. It does not fulfill the prompt exactly because a river is in author's name, but it is what I am going with for now. I am not going to attach this book cover yet. I still might find something better. Next page is very quick to set up. Last year we got introduced to the adventure board. It is located on the World of Aeldia website and the prompts can change anytime without any warning, so you have to keep an eye out. It's these small things like create a mood board for your book or dust your shelf. It's so fun. I completed 4 of these prompts, so I am putting them in. Plan is simple. Fill the spread with as many mini papers as possible. Now we are finally in the spring semester. There will be dragons, I can't wait, but for now we don't really know anything about them, so I can't make my pages for it. But we just got the spring syllabus. It is a list of all prompts for April, and no, you don't need to complete all of these. Your calling tells you which prompts you will work with. My character is a threat mage, so I have 5 prompts to complete, and I am adding this nice graphic to the right page where I will add book covers once I complete these prompts. For both of these pages, I did not want to lose the bottom part of the frames, so I cut it off and put on top, as I did so many times previously, but it sure does look much better. There is also a signature of the person who made the graphic on the right page, so I wanted to make sure it is still there and still visible. I have no idea what I will read for these prompts yet, but let me at least quickly tell you which ones I have. For the alchemy, I should read a book with all capital letters in the title. I've never even noticed there were titles with capital letters, but I guess there are, and there are many. For spells and incantations, my book should contain a word from my last book title, which will be quite a tricky one. For artificery, I should check the current time and pick a title length that would match this number. I have never seen a prompt like this, and I am excited but also terrified. Next, for inscription, I should read a first sentence of 3 books and then pick one. I am most excited about this prompt. And the last one for restoration is a book with 4+ average rating, which is not difficult to find. So yeah, these are all my prompts and I can't wait to see what I will read in April. Lastly, I wanted to have some kind of visual representation of all my implings and creatures, so I am putting them in this empty space behind the Guild Emporium booklet. I also went through my old journal and counted all points and scrolls I have currently and wrote those down in the new booklet for points. And in this booklet, I figured I could have a page for all the creatures I adopt, so it would be easier to know what I actually have. And then I have a page for all the scrolls. These get used, and this way it will be much easier to keep track of them. And after that, I will keep writing my points earned or deducted throughout the year. So guys, this is my new Orilium or Magical Readathon journal. I hope you had fun watching me work on it, or maybe you got some inspiration. Let me know in the comments if you are taking part in Magical Readathon and what your favorite prompt is. I would really like to know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a lovely day and I will see you next time. Bye.